Hi guys, Zach here with another Command & Conquer Red Alert video. In this game I'm playing a 4v4 match on the map Super Bridgehead. I'm starting in the bottom right hand side and I'm playing as the Allies. The team we're playing against in this match just contains some really good players. The host was Aussie of Speed and I've played against him before and he plays with some of his friends and they are very hard to beat. He's also got another person on his team who wasn't there before called Bubblegum Boy. Now Bubblegum Boy is ranked around 30 in quick match, so this is going to be a very hard game. Bubblegum Boy and Aussie of Speed are on the left side of the map though, and I'm on the right hand side of the map, so I'm going to be fighting the other two players early on. But I'm not going to want to wait around too long, else I think the left side of the map are going to have a very hard time, and I'm probably going to hopefully be able to provide them with some support later in the game. So what I'm going to do at the start is I'm going to start by building just one ore truck when I build my first war factory. As you can see, there's a lot of gems close by, so I'm going to be focused on mining those early on and getting some tanks quickly, because if the left side get attacked early on, I'm going to need to attack the right side quite early on as well. I did hear there one of my teammates was just making one of those flag sounds, but I can't have a look at the moment because if I try looking over the map, green might get a jump on me. You can see they are quite aggressive with the way they've lined the infantry up, they're guarding both gaps. I'm just getting an ore silo down there, because whenever you're mining gems, always get an ore silo if you've only got one ore refinery, because it does fill up and you start losing ore. Whenever they say ore silos needed, it means you've overfilled your ore refinery, so you're just losing any ore that you've mined over that limit. And now that I've got my second ore truck out, I'm going to start getting light tanks, and light tanks are quite good very early on if you need to do a rush attack or something like that. Right, so there's my second war factory. I'm not going to do a triple war factory of course in this position, because sometimes when you get 3 ore trucks out early on, you can then do a triple war factory, but that's not going to work in this situation because I've only got 2 ore trucks. So I'm just building another ore refinery then, and I might need to build another ore refinery and then get my 3rd war factory. And as we can see on the left hand side, Cyan, our teammate, is getting attacked. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to attack right now, and I'm going to go for green. The reason I can't go over and help his base is because if I go over to help his base, green just attacks me and we lose the game. So we lose the right hand side, and then green will just swipe over to the other teams. Right, so we'll just place that ore refinery down, and I'm going to go straight for the construction yard, I think. And as soon as the other teams hopefully realise I'm attacking green, I'm doing some real damage, they'll have to focus their efforts on this side of the map. And I'm going to go for the ore refinery as well. I don't know if they've got another ore refinery, they might have it at the other side of the base. And no, they don't, because you can see the ore trucks have stopped. So that's probably helped us an awful lot, because green are pretty much out of the game now. They've got no construction yard, they've got no ore refinery, so they can't, once they've spent raw, they can't build any more. And you can see that pink and blue are now having to bring their tanks over. Now played as a pink is Bubblegum Boy, so Bubblegum Boy's there as well, he's had to bring some tanks over, and this is a very important fight now, because we're going to have to see, are they going to press forward, or are they going to just try and hold position? That's the question. I have got quite decent tank numbers at this point of the game, so it's looking pretty good for me. I've just bought pillbox as a precautionary measure, but it's looking very good at this point. You can see blue hasn't got a significant number of tanks at this point in the game. They have got mediums though, and I've got light tanks, and light tanks are quite good early on if you want to attack buildings, but when it comes to big tank battles, I do prefer medium tanks, so I will be transitioning to those. But at this point, it's looking very good for us. And you can see green are bringing their ore trucks down. So I think what green are going to try and do is they're going to try and block my ore refineries with those ore trucks. So I don't really want that to happen. I'm now transitioning to medium tanks. Medium tanks do about the same damage as light tanks, but they have a lot more HP. And you can see the green over the back of my base. So that was a really good move by green. It looked like we were out of it, and they've got my construction yard. Oh, they've actually captured it. I've had to sell it again, but yeah, that was that was bad. But yeah, green did a good job there. They managed to sneak to the back of my base.
Unit ready.
And we're going to be able to destroy that ore truck there. As you can see, they're trying to block my ore refineries. And as expected, green are trying to be as annoying as they can be, holding the ore truck back until I bring my tanks up. And then as soon as I bring my tanks up, what they'll do is they'll bring the ore refinery back, as you can see now. So I'm just going to attack it with those few tanks there. And they're probably going to bring it down again. I was just hoping there that possibly that little crate could have possibly been an MCV, but it was not to be. And I think I need to be careful actually, because green could get a crate with an MCV, so they could get back into this game possibly. Although I think they're going to be quite low on funds, so they probably won't have enough to buy yet. And you can see they've, as I've gone, as expected, they've put the ore truck in my ore refinery. So I'll just get rid of it. And then I'm going to need to turn my attention to blue, because they're at the other side of my base. It doesn't look like blue's got a significant army here, so I should be able to deal with this, no problem. Yeah, I think I'm going for, well, I'm trying to track the war factory there, now we've switched to an ore refinery. I mean, the ore refineries aren't too significant at the moment because I've got 3 of them, so if I lose one of them, it's not too bad. Yeah, I think blue's probably attacked a little early here. He hasn't got enough tanks, he needs to build his tanks first and then make an attack. Because here, what's going to happen is he's not even going to get that ore refinery destroyed, and he's just lost all of his tanks. And all this time that he's losing tanks and sending tanks to my base, I'm just building more and more tanks. I don't know if he's trying to save time because he's got a construction yard so he can build more buildings and improve his base development, possibly. But yeah, he's losing a lot of tanks there, and it's going to take time to build those numbers back up. So what I'm doing is I'm just going up. I'm just going to have a quick look over to, and you can see that blue's, I was going to try and sneak and go to the back of pink's base because you can see he's undefended, but it looks like blue's trying to stop me here, so I'm going to have to fight him. And I think I do have the better numbers here, so it should be fine, yeah. You can see I'm taking down the tanks quite easily, and it looks like he's not going to have an answer. Right, and they're all destroyed. So this is going to be big actually, because I'm going to go for an attack on the back of pink's base, and it looks like nobody's home, so this could be very, very good for us. I can see tanks going to the south, and you can see that green have actually got an attack on my base. So what they've done is they've destroyed one of my ore refineries, and they're going to try and destroy my other one. So while my tanks are destroying pink's construction yard, I'm going to go for an attack, try and destroy these green tanks here. And it looks like I'm going to be fine. And Pink's sort of realised, I think, because he's brought some of his tanks back, and now he thinks I'm retreating. He's actually retreating his tanks back to the other side of his base. So I'm going to go for his war factories here. And he's just noticed what's happening, and it's going to be too late, I think. Are we going to get that third war factory? It looks very, very good at the moment. And we've got that third war factory down, so that's a really big win for us, because it means that Pink can no longer build any more tanks, so they're pretty much out of the gate. Well, they can build infantry still, so I'm going to have to go for that barracks, but no more tanks from Pink. And this is the only other production building, so hopefully we can get rid of that as well, and it's looking very, very good. So that's pretty much Pink out of the game. We've got those few tanks left, but it's not really anything significant, and we're going to have to go for those blue tanks there, because obviously blue's had a bit of time to build back up, and he's going to launch an attack right now. But I think we've got the better tank numbers here. You can see he's pulling back. It's looking very, very good for us. You can see green's got some infantry down there. I'm just going to move those tanks up, so just to block that path, but just squash those infantry, and I should be... Yeah, we've got rid of those as well. And you can see orange is bringing some tanks to help, but at this point it's looking very, very good for us, and they'll probably need to focus on the left hand side. Right, so we're engaging in another tank battle with blue. We'll probably be able to get rid of green at this point now, because getting rid of pink was a very, very big win for us. It was just because he wasn't suspecting it, because he was thinking I was fighting with blue, so he had all his attention focused on the other two players, so that was a massive win for us, and it's changes this battle quite a bit. And you can see that blue's got no answer at the moment. We've outnumbered our own tanks, and I'll probably be able to get rid of green at this point as well. And you can see that Bubblegum Boy has left the match now. I mean, there was no point in staying. All of his production buildings were destroyed, and he had no construction yard. I mean, he could have possibly looked around the map for a crate, but I mean, it's very unlikely that you're going to get an MCV. And it depends if he had the funds. Even if he does get an MCV, he still needs the funds in order to build an ore refinery. Well, he did actually have an ore refinery, so he would have been actually in the game again, but never mind. Right, we're just pushing blue back at the moment. Let's see if we can get into his base a bit. If he doesn't have much to defend, we might be able to destroy him at this point. He has got turrets, which are quite strong against tanks, and it does look like he has a decent... keeps on producing tanks. It might be a bit hard to get through the bottleneck there. Having a look at red, on the other hand, his base is very spread out, and he's got quite a lot of heavy tanks around, hasn't he? So if we attack the back of him, he may have to pull his tanks from the front to the back, and that'll give our teammates an ideal opportunity. And we can see a lot of his economy is at the back of his base, so we'll try and hamper that at the moment. Hopefully blue will follow us, and we'll have to wait and see. But yeah, red's definitely seen I'm there, and we're going to have a go at these ore refineries at the moment. So there's 3 in a row, quite nicely spaced out, just for us to destroy one at a time. And yeah, it's looking very good here. Hopefully this will hamper red's economy a little bit. And we'll go for that ore refinery as well. As you can see, that blue's going for my base at the moment. I have got some tanks left at my base, so I will need to defend here. So I'm just pulling all my tanks back now, and we should be able to defend this. Please. Okay. Right, and yeah, he's going for the ore refineries. He's going for the ore refinery now, so we'll have to start repairing that one. And yeah, you can see at the moment it's looking okay, and we're getting some tank kills. Obviously, he's losing quite a lot of tanks again, and it all depends whether can he destroy this last ore refinery. And I've run out of money. This is bad. I've just got that's about a bit bad there. I had a little pause in repairing, and he's actually managed to get that, so that's bad for us because we don't have any ore refineries left. So what we're going to do now is we're just going to go and attack blue, because blue's used all his tanks to do that, so we'll be able to just take out all his ore refineries and base. Hopefully, I know that yellow's actually pointed at that point, so hopefully orange will help with that, because at the moment I just need to take out blue, and that's my only priority at the moment, because then if I take out blue, it'll be orange and yellow versus red, which hopefully they'll be able to handle together. And you can see that blue's he's built some tanks back, but it's going to be quite straightforward for us. We're going to be able to get through the base here, and we're just going to go for the buildings, because as long as I can get the main buildings out of the way, he won't be able to build any more tanks. So that's one ore refinery down. Let's see if we can get the second ore refinery. I think it's going to be pretty obvious we're going to be able to do that. And you can see that yellow attacking his construction yard, so I'm going to take out his war factories at this point, just to make sure he can't produce any more units if he does lose his construction yard, or he can't produce any more tanks at least. So we'll go for his barracks now. So that's his production out of the window, so he's not going to be able to produce any more at this point, and now it's just a case of destroying the buildings. And I think at this point it's going to be easy to destroy the buildings, because that'll get rid of all those tanks that he's got at the moment. Right, so yellow did help quite a bit there by destroying his construction yard for me. I took out the production buildings, and now we're going to take out the turrets at the bottom of his base, and then that's blue out of the game. Yeah, so that's looking very good for us, and blue is over. And now I'm going to go for red, because red are doing quite good damage, a lot of damage on yellow there. Orange is obviously going to help there, and if I attack the base here, that'll just take a bit of the focus. You can see me coming from the left hand side, because blue are out of the game. He's seen destroyed, so it's sort of I've only got these tanks left, and you can see he's bringing his tanks back to the back of his base. So he's obviously seen me here, and what this is going to do is even though I haven't been able to do that much damage at this point, I've been able to take out a Tesla coil and a few tanks, so it's not like totally wasted. But what I've done is I've allowed the pressure on yellow that he had on the base to cease, and they should be able to sort of like, yeah, regroup and follow up with an attack. As you can see, yellow has still got a construction yard, he's got ore refineries, he's got war factories, so he's in quite a good position at this point. And it is Commie who's playing as the yellow, and what I'm doing here is I'm just bringing my ore trucks up, because if a opportunity arises, I'm going to put an ore truck in his ore refineries. But as you can see, he has got Tesla coils guarding those ore refineries, or the ore refineries that matter anyway, so that might be a bit of a hard thing to do. And you can see that yellow and orange are coming for an attack on red at the bottom of the base, and it looks like the Tesla coils are offline. They've managed to destroy enough power plants, and this is looking very good for them. He sold a Tesla coil there, so he's got enough power to use the other Tesla coil, and he's probably building power plants as we speak. Right, and he's got his tanks down, and it was looking like it could have been game over there, but yellow seemed to have he seems to have been able to bring enough tanks and do enough damage with that Tesla coil in order to survive. And yeah, yellow in a bit of a hard position there. They're sort of being attacked at both sides. But you can see it, not to worry, yellow and orange do have a lot of tanks. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to wind it on in a sec, because there wasn't much that happened for the rest of the match. So yeah, I got a bit greedy there, I guess, when I attacked red. When I attacked red, I should have probably kept on attacking blue. I could have probably defeated blue, I think, possibly. And then I should have attacked red after, but that's hindsight for you, so I could have played a little bit better. I think one of the big turning points in this match, though, was when we got rid of Pink, Bubblegum Boy. Bubblegum Boy was focused on my teammates, because my teammates did have the harder side to defend. Like, you had Bubblegum Boy and Ozzy off speed, both on that side. They're both very, very good players, so it was always going to be a struggle on the left-hand side. So I think getting rid of Bubblegum Boy, as I said, was a pivotal turning point in this match. And as you can see, this is just the end of the match, and they're just cleaning up the base. I mean, Ozzy off speed, he did play really well there. He did a lot of damage, and he's selling up now. Right, hope you enjoyed the video. Thank you for watching.